Hello, veterinary friends. Welcome to the Veterinary Life Coach Podcast. Today, I have a wonderful guest for you. His name is Stanley Bronstein. Stanley is an attorney, CPA, life coach, and multi-book author focused on two big missions: helping people reach their maximum potential and helping those who need it to lose weight permanently through healthy, sustainable lifestyle change without drugs or surgeries. Stanley created The Way of Excellence, a structured personal development system centered on living excellence as a way of life. And he's written several books on the topic, all of which are available on his website. And today we will talk about what really drives lasting change, including willingness, belief, discipline, and commitment, and how to align mindset, healthy eating, and healthy movement for a life that keeps us getting better, which all of us veterinarians need to get better and have good change. Welcome to the podcast, Stanley. I'm delighted to have you.
Thank you for having me, Julie. Good to be here.
It's going to be fun. This is all stuff that we like to talk about, so I think that you'll be a good guest for us.
I
So,
hope
my
so.
first question to everyone that I have on the podcast is asking them to tell me their story, because I like to hear how you got from wherever you started. You can start as early as you want.
Well, September 13th, 1967. Is that early enough?
Yeah, that's great. That's going to be a long
Mhm.
story, right?
Okay, no, I'll give you the quicker version. Okay, when I was 8 years old, my mother died.
Oh gosh, that's sad.
And needless to say, it messed with my head big
Of
time
course it would. Yeah, eight
and it
especially. That's a hard age.
and had lasting impacts. And emotionally, in a lot of ways, I shut down, didn't process my emotions, didn't
Mm,
cry, didn't process a lot of my feelings till many years later.
right.
So there I am. I'm living with my father, who was massively obese.
Oh,
He had no clue how to eat properly. And we both just literally ate ourselves into oblivion.
oh,
And if you look at all the pictures, I just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And honestly, most men like to brag if they weigh what they weighed when they got married. I weigh less than I did when I was 13 years old.
oh wow. Yeah,
That's crazy when you think about
yeah,
it.
that is crazy.
So anyway, and it impacted my life. High school, I had friends, but didn't do a lot of dating. Same thing in college, had friends, didn't do a lot of dating. Then my senior year in college, I lost about 75, 80 pounds. And that was a start, but I didn't learn how to eat properly. I didn't really change a lot of my mental habits. And I went on a road trip with some friends, and there were cookies in the back seat of the car. And the cookies and I had an intimate love affair during the trip. And the weight just started coming right back on, and I got even bigger than I was. So when I graduated from college, I became a CPA because I studied accounting in college. Then when I was about 27, 28 years old, I got in an argument with one of my older brothers. We were working together. In the middle of the argument, he screams at me. He says, "You ought to go to law school." And I
Just
said, "Oh,
randomly because
no,
because you were
no,
arguing so well.
we were working together, and I did some legal work on it. I drew up a lease.
Oh,
We
gotcha.
did a lot of real estate. I drew up a lease, and he says, "You're not a lawyer." And I said, "Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm not right."
Right.
Um, so he says, "You ought to go to law school." And I said, "Okay." So the lesson to be learned from that is you can be in the middle of arguing with someone who's totally full of crap, which he was, but you should be listening to what they're saying because some words of wisdom may accidentally come out of their mouth that you need to hear. So I went to law school. Took me 4 years because I went at night part-time, became a lawyer. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, for steering me in that direction.
Right.
So toward my last year of law school, I maxed out at 367 pounds,
Oh,
which you
wow.
can see from a picture
Yeah,
here. And
absolutely.
I had like a 58-inch waist.
Wow.
And I'm only 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah,
So
that's got to be hard.
today I have like a 31-inch waist.
Wow.
Um, and no drugs, no surgeries. We'll talk about that
Yeah,
because we're going to talk about health
right.
today's podcast.
Yeah.
So again, my last year in law school, I don't know what it is. Last year, I must be thinking about starting over, fresh starts.
Yeah,
I lost over 100 pounds, but I didn't do it the right way. I didn't
do it
learn what I was
correctly.
doing. It was more portion control than anything. And over time, I started putting some of that weight back on, but much more slowly than the last time.
Yeah,
And I became small enough to where women were interested in me. I wound up getting married, did a lot of dating, wound up getting married, and we're still married today. It'll
nice.
be 26 years in September. So I, after I got married, started my own law and accounting office. We moved out of state to Arizona. And over time, the stresses of life, the stresses of work and everything, I began slowly putting the weight back on. But I never got back up to my full 367. I only got up to 320. And the reason why I never got back to the full 367 was that second time I lost weight, that 100 pounds, I made one permanent change in my eating habits. I used to get up in the middle of the night and eat full-blown meals,
Oh,
and I stopped that. And that right there, that one permanent change was good for a 45-pound permanent weight loss.
right. Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
but the lesson here is that temporary changes are going to give you temporary results. Permanent changes are going to give you permanent results.
Right.
And we're gonna touch on that too when we go into this. So
Okay.
as I approached my 50th birthday, uh, life kind of slowed down a little bit because that was back in 2009 when the real estate market kind of tanked a little bit. So things were a lot slower, and I had time to think. And I woke up February 1st, 2009, 4 months before my 50th birthday, a little over 17 years ago. And you notice it was February 1st, not January 1st.
Right.
And the reason why it was February 1st was I had made a New Year's resolution, and like most people, I blew it.
Yeah, most people
So,
do, right? I've done
yes.
that many times.
So the lesson from that story is, so what if you blew it? You can always start again.
Sure.
The important thing is that you start. So February 1st, 2009, I woke up, to be honest with you, I was disgusted with myself. And that's bad when you feel disgusted. I mean, I had a successful career. And I said, Stanley, you're blowing it. And I said, where are you going to be in 5 years if you keep doing what you're doing? And I didn't like the answer.
Yeah.
Care to guess what the answer was?
Probably dead.
Dead. And and I decided I didn't want to be dead.
Right.
So I told my wife, I'm done. I'm cooked. Now, the interesting thing is I was not at rock bottom. You know, they say you need to hit rock bottom before you'll change. I don't believe that.
No, I
I
don't
do not.
either.
I don't believe in that. That's
No.
ridiculous.
Right.
You, I was on my way to rock bottom. I hadn't had a heart attack yet, hadn't had a stroke yet,
Right.
hadn't knees hadn't given out yet. All those things were coming. So I told my wife, I'm going to make some changes here. And the conversation I had with her, I'm going to share it with you. It was a little harsh. I said, I'm going to make these changes. You might like them and you might not like them. And if you don't like them, I don't care because
Too bad.
I have to make these changes or I'm going to be dead.
Right.
I had what I call a moment of healthy selfishness.
Mm,
I actually wrote a book on that called The Way of Healthy Selfishness.
yeah.
When you get on an airplane, what do they tell you? Put your oxygen mask on first.
First. Yeah.
I had to put my oxygen mask on first.
Right.
So, I told her I'm going on a journey and I'm inviting you to come along with me. And I hope you do. But if you don't want to, there's the door. You can walk out right now. I told her that.
Yeah.
And to her
Was she
credit,
overweight too? Like, was
no,
she?
no,
No.
no. She's, I mean, she's been, she's had times where she needed to lose 5 pounds,
Right. Right.
but not,
Not like you. Yeah.
not hundreds of pounds.
Right.
Um, so she stuck with me. So I give her a lot of credit for that. And thank you. And so I said, I'm going to make some changes. And I came up with four things I was going to change. First one was drinking alcohol. Now, I don't know about vets, but I'll tell you about lawyers and accountants. Many of them have alcohol problems,
Mm,
um, hidden alcohol problems. And I don't know if I was addicted or not. I don't know if I was an alcoholic or not. But what I do know is I was drinking every day. I was drinking more than I should. And it was not serving me. I was serving it.
right.
I came to the conclusion that drinking alcohol was inconsistent with the kind of person I wanted to be. So I believe in symbolism. I took my last bottle of scotch, poured it down the toilet, hit flush, gone. Haven't had a drink in over
Yeah.
17 years.
Nice.
Now, I don't want to make fun or light of anybody dealing with alcohol, but I
Right.
actually didn't find it that hard to kick.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I wasn't physically addicted to it. I didn't have any detox symptoms.
Right.
I might have been emotionally addicted to it,
Sure.
where I wanted it or I craved it. But,
Right.
you know, so that was it. The second thing I stopped doing was actually harder than the alcohol. 2 liter bottles of soda pop.
Oh, yeah. Soda. So much sugar.
Well, these were diet caffeine free, so those are healthy, right?
Oh, healthy. Yeah.
That's what they tell you, but
Right.
these are my opinions. No, they're not
Right.
healthy. They're
Yeah.
garbage.
Yeah. And those
Um,
are kind of addicting too.
oh,
I used to be a
absolutely.
Diet Coke fanatic and I used to drink those all the time until my son got after me. He's like, Mom, you got to stop drinking those. And so I
Smart
did.
son, smart
Yeah.
son.
Yeah. But
You can
interesting,
tell him I
right?
said
Like
that. Yeah,
you kind of get addicted to it. Yeah.
kinda. I was drinking 3 of them a day. So anyway, I took my last bottle, poured it down the toilet, hit flush, gone.
Done.
Haven't had one in over 17 years.
Nice.
Now, I said I'm going to make a dietary change. I liked chicken and turkey, so I said I'll quit eating red meat, beef and pork, which was kind of interesting considering my father was a butcher and I grew up in a home with unlimited free meat.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That
But,
is ironic.
yeah, but anyway, I quit eating red meat. And then I said, I need some exercise. Got to come up with something. I made a decision. Walking is going to be my exercise of choice. And the reason why I came up with walking was you didn't need a lot of special equipment. You could do it almost anywhere, anytime.
Right.
And I figured it would beat my body up less than most other forms of exercise.
Sure. Yeah.
So when I started, and I said walking is going to be my exercise of choice, and I didn't realize how prophetic my words were. I mean, very prophetic. Anyway, when I started, I could only walk 2 or 3 blocks. My knees hurt. I was out of breath. I found a gym that was open 24 hours. They had a pool. I'd go there in the middle of the night when it was empty, and I started walking laps
In the
in the
water.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it didn't tear my knees up. And I built up to an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And I set a goal. I want to do a 5 hour pool walk on my 50th birthday.
Wow. Good for you.
Well, and
A
by
lot of
my fifth,
walking.
yes, by my fifth, no, I've done much more than that.
Yeah.
By my 50th birthday, I had lost about 50 pounds. I did that 5 hour pool walk. 2 days later, I did 5.5 hours.
Nice.
So then I shifted to starting to walk outside. And over time, I want to emphasize my journey has been an evolutionary journey. I didn't just start out and instantly do everything I'm doing now.
Sure.
What I do now is what I have evolved into, and I am still evolving every day.
Yeah.
It is changing, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And that is because life is a long-term game. The problem is we live in a short-term world. Everything is instant, instant gratification, instant success, instant this, instant that.
Right.
That's not good. We need to learn to think in decades and act daily in accordance with what we're thinking. Because you see, every time I went to a Chinese buffet for lunch, every time I came home from work and drank a bunch of scotch, sat on my butt and ate crappy food, I was knocking days, weeks, months, years off my life. And I was lessening the quality of my life during those years.
Right.
So those things needed to go. And we'll talk some more about that in a minute. So I began walking more, a lot more. I mean, I got to the point where I was walking 10 to 15 miles a day. And now let's talk about walking for a second. Does anybody listening need to walk that much every day? No, you do not. I tell people shoot for 20 minutes a day. Start at 20 minutes. If you want to do more, you're welcome to do more. But if you do 20 minutes a day, you'll be good.
Right.
And so why do I walk more? Because I can. See, this whole process of losing all this weight, keeping it off without drugs or surgery, despite all the messages telling us, oh, you need drugs, you need surgery, whatever.
Right.
I don't believe in any of that stuff. And if you are considering surgery or drugs, I'll support you if you do that, but talk to me first
Yeah. You'll
because
tell them how to do it.
I can help you get started without having to do that stuff.
Right. Right.
So so this experience taught me that I am more powerful than I ever imagined. Way more powerful. See, one of the reasons I walk like I do is I'm in year 18 of searching for my limits, and I haven't found them yet.
That's fascinating, isn't it?
That,
That
yes,
the more you push yourself, the more you discover you can do.
yes. Now, if I am more powerful than I ever imagined, what does that say about Julie? What does that say about anyone who's listening? It says that you too are more powerful than you ever imagined, way more powerful. And that's because I am no more special than you, and you are no more special than me. The truth is, we are all special, each and every one of us.
Love that. Yeah, that's
And,
true.
and sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I just said it's so true.
Okay. And when you begin to realize that you're more powerful than you ever imagined, you start asking yourself questions. And the question I ask myself is, if I'm capable of losing all this weight and keeping it off with no drugs or surgery, if I'm capable of going from a person who can only walk 2 or 3 blocks to turning into a walking athlete who walks a half marathon or more every
Every day.
day,
Yeah.
what else is out there waiting for me to do that I haven't done yet that I should be doing? And the answer to that question that I came up with was I should turn this into a system where I can teach people what I have learned over the years and turn it into a system that is generic enough that they can use it in their own way to help them do whatever it is they want to do to help them to become successful.
Right.
Because look, if I could go back and change the things I went through and some of the things I did, would I? Yes, I would. But do I have any regrets for what I went through, for what I experienced? No. And that is because all of those experiences were necessary to teach me what I know now and to turn me into the person I am now. And I happen to like the person I am now. So I set a goal that I want to turn this into a system to help other people because honestly, I'm in a stage of my life, I'm 66. I don't have to work. You
Right.
know, I'm set. You know, I could go to sit on the beach and do whatever I want, but I have things to do.
Right. Yeah. You have a
You
lot of
know,
life left now that you've
yeah,
gotten yourself in shape, right?
yeah. I've aged in reverse.
Right.
All my friends, they've gotten older and they're slowing down. Me, I've aged backwards and I'm speeding
Speeding
up.
up. Yeah.
I mean, I just had my blood work done about 2 months ago when I had my physical. I'll put my blood work up against any 30-year-old.
Yeah.
And I don't know any 30-year-old, I don't know many 30-year-olds who walk a half marathon every day.
No.
Now I walk slowly. That's another thing I want to emphasize. You don't have to, all the people who say exercise got to go fast, 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 fast.
Right.
Well, when I started in the beginning, all the experts told me, Stanley, you're doing it the wrong way. You just need to exercise 20 minutes really hard.
Yeah.
And I said, but that hurts me when I do that. I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah.
They said, well, you're doing it wrong. Well, guess what? I did it my way. And how's that song go? I did it my way. But anyway,
Yeah. And look at
and
me now, right?
yeah, yeah, I've done something right.
Right.
So, phooey on you for telling me, that I wasn't doing it the right way.
Yeah.
You do it in a way that works for you.
Right.
So, so I said, this system, what is the goal of the system? And I came up with the conclusion that the goal is not perfection. The goal is excellence.
Mm,
Now, let me tell you what the
I
difference.
like that word.
Let me tell you the difference. Perfectionists, nothing is good enough unless it's perfect. There's just one problem. We are all human beings. And if there's one thing I can promise you with 100% certainty, you're going to screw up big time somewhere along the way.
Right.
That bit of knowledge is my gift to you. You're going to screw up somewhere big time. The question is not, are you going to screw up? The question is, what are you going to do when you screw up? Are you going to do what I used to do, which is beat myself upside the head, say I'm no good, say I'm worthless, and then go bury my feelings in a bunch of food, bunch of alcohol? Or are you going to say, screwed up, made some mistakes? Mistakes are proof that I'm trying. What can I learn from these mistakes and pick myself back up and start over? See, there's an old saying, fall down 7 times, get up eight. Well, I've probably fallen down 1,000 times and gotten up 1,001.
1001. Yeah.
And that 1,001st time was good. And I'm continuing to run from there. See, I have a simple saying. Your goal is to beat yesterday.
Mm,
You want to be better today than you were yesterday, better tomorrow than you were today. But realize something. If you have a bad day, if you say, I made a mistake and then pick yourself back up and keep going again, that is beating yesterday
right.
because the old you might have fallen down and not gotten back up.
Quit. Yeah.
Yeah. So just keep going. Persistence. Okay. You're a vet. You can appreciate the. Would you care to guess what my favorite animal is? My totem animal?
Mm, I don't know. Oh, a
The
snail.
snail. Steady, diligent,
Slow and steady.
persistent. Yes.
Yeah.
This is Stanley the
I
snail.
don't
Say
I don't
say
get
hello, 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 hello. So this is who I am.
that's you.
That's my philosophy of life.
Right.
Slow and steady. So so the goal is not
Little baby
perfection.
steps.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
baby slithers.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the goal is excellence. So I came up with a system. I called it the way of excellence.
Okay.
Now you can see how anal this system is. It's all nice and
Yeah, that
color
looks like an
coded.
accountant made it.
Yeah, color coded, everything like that. But I'm going to tell you something funny about this chart.
Yeah.
It's excellence, not perfection, right?
Right.
I noticed a couple of months ago, I have one word misspelled in this chart.
There is.
Yes, there's one word misspelled that I didn't catch when I was going through it. And so
Uh-oh.
I said to myself, should I reprint the chart? You see, the wall behind me, it's five
Yeah.
foot chart.
It's big. Yeah.
Cost over $100. I've got another one in the other room.
Right.
Do I want to reprint those charts? Do I want to correct my websites? Do I want to correct it in all my books and everything? And I sat there and I said, no, this is the way of excellence. It is not the way of perfection.
Right.
It doesn't need to be perfect. That is because good enough is good enough. I have become what I call a good enoughist, not a
Yeah.
perfectionist.
I love it.
But just because something is good enough doesn't mean you can't get better.
Sure.
It doesn't mean you shouldn't work to try to get better.
Right.
It just means you shouldn't beat yourself up upside the head
When
when you
something
make
doesn't work.
mistakes, when
Right.
something doesn't work out the way you want it to be.
Right.
So it's a process. So as I came up with the system, it evolved over time. But I came up with 20 traits that I think make an excellent human being.
Oh.
And the system is intended to be an operating system like
Okay.
Windows 11, Mac OS, Android for how to be a human being.
How to be an excellent human being.
Yes. So, what are some of these traits? We've already sort of covered a couple of them, but I'll go through them. I'll give you the real quick rundown.
Okay.
Number one, awareness. Tell yourself the truth. On February 1st, 2009, when I said, get in shape or I'm going to be dead within 5 years, you can't tell yourself the truth any more than that.
Right.
But that was not the first time I had told myself that. And it wasn't even the first time I had taken action to start trying to get in shape.
Right.
But it was the first time I permanently took action to do something about it. See, that's number 16 in the system. It's okay. Let me ask you, what are the three most important words in the English language to you?
Mm, I don't know. I might pick something like I'm still learning or
Those are
something like
good.
that.
Those are good, but I used to say I love you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, not anymore.
No.
To me, the three most important words in the English language are you willing?
Are you willing? I like
Because
that.
because unless and until you become permanently willing to permanently and positively change for the rest of your hopefully very long, hopefully very happy, hopefully very healthy life, you are not going to permanently get what you want.
Yeah. I like that because I've heard other people say something similar. Like when you see someone that you admire saying,
Yeah.
I want to be like that person. But
Yeah.
then the question is, are you willing to do what that person did
Yeah.
to get to where they are? And
Yeah,
I've
that's
heard that
right.
before, and I'm like, yeah, that's a really good question. So it's kind of what you're saying.
And it also depends on what they did. Sometimes people do things that they shouldn't do bad things to
Sure.
get to where they're at.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so you need to keep that in mind as you're going along.
Sure.
But unless and until you become permanently willing, that's number 16. And we were talking about the four factors. That's the first of the four, willingness to change.
Willingness. Yeah.
Permanent willingness to change. Unless and until you're permanently willing, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
That's simple.
Love that.
Okay, number two, we already touched on long-term thinking. Life is a long-term game, even though we live in a short-term world. It's
Right.
okay to have short-term pleasures, but don't let them control your life. I'm not saying never watch TV, just don't watch it all day, every day. I'm
Right.
not saying don't doom scroll on TikTok, just don't do it all day, every day.
All the time. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I do that. I might do it for 5 minutes. Then I put my phone down and I'm done and I'm gone. I like to laugh just as much as anybody else does.
Sure.
Um, so you do want to have fun. Number three, take personal responsibility.
Hmm.
Look, it wasn't my mother's fault she died when I was 8. It wasn't my father's fault he only had a fifth grade education and had no clue how to live a healthy lifestyle. All he knew was to work hard, stay out of trouble, and provide for his family. That's all he knew.
Right.
And he did those things well. So
Mhm.
thank you. And it wasn't my fault. I was a kid. I didn't know any better. And even if it was my fault, it doesn't matter. Blame is irrelevant. Blame does not fix problems. All that matters is figuring out what needs to be done and then doing it.
Right.
So if you're a politician in Washington and you're listening to this, blame is irrelevant. Stop blaming each other, get
Yeah,
together
that's
and
what they
start
do, right?
fixing things. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's my political soapbox. I'm off. That's my political message. I'm off of that.
Right.
Number four, embrace change. See, the problem is we fear change. Change can be scary. When you
Yes.
feel fear, you can either forget everything and run, or you can face everything and rise. I recommend face everything and rise. And you know why? Because all the good stuff you want in life is usually on the other side of your fear.
Hmm.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, that's
So
it. Right.
just don't be afraid, you know. And if you feel fear, it's okay. You're a human being. You feel fear. What are
Right.
you going to do? Are you going to run? Are you going to proceed forward anyway? And be smart about it. Be intelligent about it. Don't do stupid stuff. Don't be crazy.
Yeah.
Don't stick your hand on a hot stove just because
Right.
I feel no fear.
Right.
You know, be smart about it. Number five, positive focus. See, there's something I call the law of expansion. What you focus on is what you're going to get more of in your life.
Right.
So focus on the positive. Start using the word can. Stop using the word can't. Start focusing on the positive. Stop focusing on the negative. Start focusing on the good. Stop focusing on the bad. Engage in positive self-talk. Stop with the negative self-talk. Pay attention to your words.
Hmm.
Stop saying you're going to try to do something. Start saying you're doing it. Your brain hears everything you tell it. It's constantly listening. So tell it good stuff. Okay. Number six, perspective. All these things I'm talking about, are these things you have to do or are they things you get to do? So I'm going to share a message with you right now. There's only one thing you have to do in life, and that's die.
That's true.
You don't even have to pay taxes. You
No.
might you might go to jail, but you don't have to pay taxes. All you have to do is die. So let's live along the way.
Yeah.
And the one who taught me this, I learned it in a very unusual way. 2 years before I started on this journey, back in 2007, I was driving around the whole United States interviewing 50 people for a book I was writing to get their stories. Very beginning of the trip, I was in Honolulu, Hawaii. I mean, if you're going to do a nationwide trip, start it in Hawaii, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
So the first person I interviewed said, "Are you going to be interviewing Peggy Chun?" And I said, "Who's Peggy? I've never heard of her." He says, "You got to talk to her." So the universe sent me to Peggy. So I called her daughter. Her daughter said, "Come on over to the house tomorrow. I'll let you interview my mother." I said, "Okay." When I got to the house, Peggy was in the end stages of Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. She was completely bedridden, could not move, could not speak, was on a ventilator. The only way she could communicate, trained people would hold up an eye chart, they could read her eye movements, and she could spell out words.
Yeah.
It took me like 2 hours to do a 20-minute interview of her. Well, anyway, when I saw her, the thought that went in my mind was, if I ever get like that, I want to be dead. Take me out, please. But that was not Peggy's attitude. Peggy's attitude was, my grandkids are coming over later today. I can see out the window that it's a beautiful sunny day. They're going to wheel me outside and I'm going to sit outside with my grandkids and we're going to paint and we're going to have fun. We're going to have a great time.
Yeah.
You're getting ready to drive around the United States and you're going to interview these 50 amazing people. Tell me their stories. I want to hear about every one of them. That sounds like
Wow.
so much fun. I wish I could go with you.
He had a great attitude.
So this woman who was in a state where I would want to be dead had more joy for life than anyone I've met in my 66 years.
That's awesome.
So when I had mornings, I don't want to walk today. I don't feel like it. I'm tired of this. You know the saying, what would Jesus do? I started saying, what would Peggy Chun do if she could?
Right.
And the answer was Peggy would have gotten her lazy butt out of bed and she'd have gone for a walk and she might not ever come back because she was having such a good time.
Right.
So anytime I don't feel like doing it, this one's for you, Peggy, and I go do it anyway. So you don't have to do things, you get to do them. Everything in life is a privilege. If you see a homeless person on the street and you're in a position to help them, you don't have to help them. It's your privilege to help them.
Right.
Help each other. Can you imagine the world if we would all start helping each other?
Oh, it would be so much better
Yes, and
than
eventually someone
everybody
would do
fighting
something.
each other.
Yeah, and eventually someone would do something to help you.
Right.
What a novel concept. So,
Yeah.
seven, big dreams. big, hairy, scary dreams. You know what my lifetime goal is? World peace.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's a good one.
I
That's a
want, I
good
want to see,
ambition to have.
I want to see world peace. You
Right.
can't get a much bigger goal than that.
Right.
Am I going to make it? Who knows? But I have a 5 year goal. I have a 10-year goal. I have a 20-year goal. I have a 50-year goal. I'm 66. I have a 50-year plan. And you know something else? I have a 100-year plan.
Yeah,
Am I going to
it
live
could
to be,
happen.
am I going to live to be 166? Don't know,
Yep.
but I'm going to die trying and know what
I
I'm
love
doing
that.
along the way.
Right. Yeah.
So, number 8, the opposite of the law of attraction. Everybody wants people to give them stuff. Well, learning to give first. I call it the law of reciprocity. Give first to others with no expectation of return. If everyone started giving to each other, eventually someone will give something to you.
Right.
And that's how you make the world a better place. Give. It's okay. But realize that givers sometimes need to set limits because takers don't set limits.
Right.
They'll take,
Yeah.
take, take, and take, and they'll bleed you dry.
Sure.
So sometimes you do need to say no, but I'll leave that up to you to decide. Number 9, wise use of your time, energy, and resources. You know, we kind of touched on that a little bit. I tell people start with setting aside 15 minutes a day for yourself. I don't care how busy you are. I don't care how much you work. I don't care if you're taking care of sick family members or whatever. You can find 15 minutes a day for yourself. And in that 15 minutes, you can use it to meditate, think, pray, do whatever it is you want. I tell people on my website, every single one of these things I'm talking about, I have a video on them. And
Okay.
the videos are 8 to 12 minutes each. They're kid friendly, so you can watch them with your kids if you want. And watch the video. Watch one a day. In less than a month, you'll learn the whole system.
Right.
And then you're off to the races and you can apply it in your life. So, that 15 minutes a day. And if you add that up with the 20 minutes a day of walking, you will be setting aside over 200 hours a year on yourself, which is 5 work weeks. It's over a month of work time.
Well, and that time would disappear
Yeah,
anyway.
you're going to waste it.
Yeah.
We all have 86,400 seconds every day.
Yeah.
How are you going to use them?
Right.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Number 10, taking consistent action. Action that's consistent with your stated goals. See, I used to say I want to lose weight and get in shape. And then I'd go eat Chinese buffets, drink a bunch of scotch, bunch of soda, pop, and sit on my butt. You know, I told somebody that wasn't going to get me in shape, and they said, no, actually, it will get you in shape, just not the shape you want to be in.
Right. A different shape.
Yes. So, and when I stopped doing those things, started eating healthy and started walking, guess what? I started getting in shape. Real
Magic.
simple, consistent action. Number 11, we already touched on it, persistence. Never give up, never surrender. Get started, keep going, keep going, keep going. Start now. There's never a better time to start than right now. Start. The day I started, I call that my rebirth day. I celebrate it every year and I celebrate it by walking a marathon every year on my rebirth day.
Nice.
You don't have to do that. But the point is when you start, mark that day. That is your rebirth day. Celebrate it, and celebrate it
Right.
in a responsible way. You know,
Right.
like for me, it wouldn't be good to go eat a bunch of cookies on my rebirth day. Um,
Right.
although to be honest with you, at this stage, I think I could.
Yeah.
I think my willpower and my discipline has gotten strong enough where I could do that. But the bottom
Right.
line is I have no business doing those things.
Right.
I've already had my lifetime share of those things. I've had your
You
lifetime
know what they
share.
taste like, right?
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. I can taste food by looking at it, smelling it. You don't have to eat it. Same thing with alcohol. You don't have to drink it. Same thing with a cigarette. Look at that cigarette. Imagine what it tastes like. Imagine what it feels like. Then put it back in the pack.
Right.
Don't light it.
Yeah.
Your mind is an incredibly powerful thing. 12, integrity. Act with integrity, honesty, loyalty, sincerity, trustworthiness, kindness, all those things. Those are traits of excellent human beings.
Right.
13, respect. Respect for others and respect for yourself. You know, so many people say, well, these people that I don't like the way they act, they don't deserve my respect. And the answer is, you're right. They might not have earned your respect, but you treat them with respect anyway, because respect is a measure of your character, not theirs.
Right.
You are a person who respects others, so act respectfully. You don't have to fall in love with them. You don't have to go sing Kumbaya with them, but treat them respectfully. And then while you're at it, treat yourself with respect. See, I used to complain that I didn't get the level of respect from others I felt like I deserved, all while I was walking around at 367 pounds. So outwardly, I was showing people a message that on some level I didn't respect myself
And
enough to take
respect
care of
yourself.
myself.
Yeah.
Any wonder they didn't respect me?
Right.
And when I started getting in shape, guess what? More people started respecting me. 14, alternatives. Win-win thinking. In order for me to win, it doesn't mean you have to lose. So we live in an incredibly abundant world right now. The problem is the resources are misallocated. And there's more than enough on this big blue marble we live on to for everyone.
Take care of everyone. Yeah.
Yes. And let's figure out how to do that. 15, we balance. Okay. You talk to people about balance.
Yep.
Do you have a definition of balance that you like to use with people?
Well, I don't love the word balance because I don't think you can really do that. I don't think it's really possible in life. I think when I think of balance, I think more of integration
Yeah.
and doing things in season. So you're not constantly in one place or the other, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
That's
when you're
that.
in one place, you're working. When you're at home, you're at home. But I don't think you can make it 50-50 equal.
I got you. We talk about integration a little bit when we get to number 20. But
Okay.
let me tell you,
Yeah, what's your definition of
I'm going to
balance?
give you a definition of balance you might like.
Okay,
It's not 50-50.
right.
Balance is identifying anything in your life that's deficient and increasing it,
Mm,
identifying anything in your life that's excessive and decreasing it. That's balance.
perfect. Yeah, that's a good definition. I
I
like it.
learned that in Tai Chi class
Yeah,
one time. The guy talked about that, and that stuck with me.
yeah, that's a
Efficient,
good way to
increase
think
it.
about it.
Excessive, decrease it. You
Decrease
don't
it.
have to worry about 50-50. See,
Right.
you might like that definition.
Yeah, I do like that one.
You're welcome to
Good.
use it. You're welcome to
Okay,
use it.
thanks. I'll steal it
Okay. Yes. Okay.
from your Tai Chi
16,
guy.
16, we already talked about willingness. Listen until you're permanently willing. You're not going to get there.
Right.
17, belief. We already touched on that.
Mm,
Believe you can or believe you can't. Either way, you're going to be right.
you'll get there. Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Believe in your abilities, your talents, and your ideas. The truth is, you are more powerful than you ever imagined. Start believing it, start acting that way. Now, discipline, number 18. Self-discipline is what I mean, not punishment.
Right.
It's taking the time to identifying everything in your life that's negative. Now, your negative habits, eliminating them. Chinese buffets, gone. Drinking scotch every day, gone. Soda pop every day, gone. Crappy food every day, gone. Sitting on my butt every day, gone. And then intentionally and consciously replacing those things with new positive habits.
Better.
Walking every day, yes. Eating healthy food every day, yes. Meditating, taking time to silence, think every day, yes. Positive things. And you want to know more about habits? There's a book I'm sure you've read, Atomic Habits by James Clear.
That's a good book. Yeah.
Yeah. People have told me, Stanley, you should write a book on habits. And I go, why?
It's already been
The
done.
book's already out there.
Yeah.
Nothing else that needs to be said.
Right.
Great book. Okay. Number 19, commitment. All these things I'm talking about sound tough until you realize something. When you become 100% committed to something, it becomes easier. And you know why? Because you stop asking questions. Example, week before Christmas, Laura I'm working with had cupcakes and cookies delivered to my house. I took them. I didn't ask myself, could I eat these? The answer is I could. Well, I don't think it would have killed me to eat it.
Right.
I didn't ask, should I eat these? I just said, I'm not going to eat these. And that is because a long time ago, I made a decision that only healthy food was going to enter my mouth.
Yeah.
And that's it. And so I have a neighbor who lives down the street. We walk our dogs every night together. She watches our dogs when we're out of town. She's skinny as a rail. She loves that kind of stuff. I gave it to her. She said, thank you. She was happy. I was happy. And my wife stole one cupcake before I gave it to her.
Yeah.
So, so when you're 100% committed, you stop asking questions. I'm 100% committed to walking every day.
Right.
I don't ask, am I going to walk today? I just go, time to get
Just
up and
know
go
you're
walk.
going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only healthy foods get out of my mouth. That's it. And let's talk about inputs for a second. Your diet is not just the food that goes in your mouth or the things you drink. It's the thoughts that go in your head. It's the environment you create for yourself. It's the people you surround yourself with. It's the dogs you surround yourself with and the
Right.
cats and everything else. It, it's all those things. I'm like, I'm sitting here, it's noon right now. Do I have better things I could be doing right now? Maybe. But the reality is I'm having a quality conversation about a quality topic with a quality individual. So that's a good thing for me to be doing. Those are the kinds of
Right.
things
And
you,
you're helping other people by giving out this information.
yeah, so those are things you want to do. Number
Right.
20, the integration of mind, body, spirit. Okay. This is a symbol I've created for the system.
Oh, that's
Mind's
pretty.
red, body's blue, green, spirit's green.
Right.
If you look in the
Yeah.
middle, you see that little figure in the
Yes,
middle. That's
I
where you want
do.
to be. That's when
Yeah.
you're in balance.
When you're in
See,
balance. Yeah.
me, when I was big, at my biggest, I was all mind. I was sitting in front of the computer all day, working on that all day,
Right.
neglecting my body, feeding it garbage, no exercise, and it was affecting my spirit.
Right.
See, your mind feeds your body and your body feeds your mind and your spirit feeds your mind and your body. They're all integrated, they all work together.
Right.
So when I started paying more attention to my body, guess what? It started improving. And I even got to the point where I was spending so much attention on my body, I didn't want to do my work. I didn't want to focus on my mind. I had to
Right.
actually intentionally go back and start doing that.
Right.
And all of
Get
these things
back into
pretty much
balance.
have, yeah, it's and it all goes all the way back to number one, awareness.
Right.
Paying attention to what's going on inside you and around you. And when something's out of whack, bring it back. That's what balance is to me.
Right.
And balance is not something you find. Balance is something you intentionally and consciously create. It is something you choose to create.
Right.
And you do it. That's the whole system in a nutshell. That's who I
That's
am
awesome.
and what
I
I'm.
think that's very helpful. And it just saying it and talking through it helps people to start somewhere because each
Yeah.
one of those things could motivate you to get started
You know the best place to start at the beginning. Isn't that
at
what
the
they said
beginning.
in the
Yeah, a
Wizard of
very good
Oz?
place to start. Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it.
Wizard of Oz.
No, that's Sound of Music.
It was it?
Let's start at the very
I think it's
beginning.
I think it's both. I
Well, it
think it's
might be
both.
both. What's
Because
the Wizard of Oz one?
when she got on the yellow brick road,
Oh yeah, start at the beginning of the
start at
Yellow
the
Brick Road.
beginning.
Yep,
Start at
you're
the
right.
beginning.
It's both. You're
It's
right.
both.
Well, that's because it's a truism, right?
Yes,
They
that's
put
because
it
it's a
in the
good
movie.
idea.
Yeah. And the getting back up when you fall down is a Rocky thing. I'm a big Rocky fan, so
Yep.
it all goes back to not quitting.
Bum,
And
ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum,
yep,
bum, bum,
exactly. Yep.
ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum,
I
bum,
love
bum.
that. Well, tell people where they can find you if they want to learn more about your system and get all your little
Go to my website, thewayofexcellence.com.
.com. Okay,
Thewayofexcellence.com. Please put that in the show notes.
I will.
And if you go there, it's got three main tabs. The first one is takes you through the system. Just start at the top, work your way down, watch the videos in order. Do
Yeah.
one a day. 8 to 12 minutes every day, one a day. Listen a month, you'll learn the whole thing.
Right.
Tab two is all my guidebooks. They're all free. You can read them online or you can download them, put them on your tablet, on your phone, your
Nice.
computer, whatever. And there's a ton of books there.
Right.
And then the third tab is healthy living. And it's a lot of information there's mindset information, changing your identity, becoming a different person. Because like you look at these pictures, these two
Yeah.
people have the
They
same
don't
D,
even look like the same person.
they have the same DNA, but they are not the same people.
Right. Exactly.
And so,
Because you took some action to change it.
yeah,
Mhm.
and we all can do that.
As
We're
simple
all
as
capable of it. And so it's all, and there's a lot of information on nutrition there. And if you run into anybody who wants to get in shape, wants to lose weight, wants to learn to eat healthy,
right.
go to my website. And also you can email me off there at the bottom of every page. There's a link. Click here to contact Stanley.
Okay.
You know, they can do that. I'm here to help
I love
because
it.
and everything on my website is free. It's not that I don't like money. It's not that I don't have people who hire me to work with them privately. I do,
Sure. Right.
but it is because not everyone has money. And I don't want money to get in the way of the message because so many of the negative messages that are being force fed to us, that we're being bombarded with, they're all about the money.
Well, yeah, all about making money.
So I took the money out of the equation. If you want to work with me and you want to pay me money, yeah, that's wonderful. I appreciate it. But
Right.
you don't have to.
That you can get the information on your website.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
and get started. Just get going.
Yeah.
That's
All
what
right. So that's your message. Get going right now. As soon as you stop listening to this podcast, take an action, right?
yeah. What Tony Robbins says,
Love
never
it.
leave the scene of a decision without taking action.
Yes. Yeah. Tony Robbins is fun to listen to too. I love
Yeah.
that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Stanley. It was really fun listening to all that. And I agree with everything you said. So that makes it easy.
Every single thing. Well,
I do. I agree with all of it.
maybe I'm on
It's
the phone.
motivating. I mean, that's exactly what people want is they want to be motivated to change, and all of the things that you're saying are
Can
motivating.
we can we can, well can we talk about motivation for 1 second? Because I didn't mention this.
Sure.
And I'll
Yep.
let you go.
Yep.
Motivation is a problem. Motivation wears off.
Yes.
That's why people don't keep up their New Year's resolutions. That's why I didn't keep up with mine. Motivation wears off.
Yeah.
Discipline is what keeps you going.
Discipline. Yeah.
Building the disciplined habits. I mean, if I relied on motivation, I'd have quit after 1 week. I'd
Right.
have quit in less than a week.
Right.
It's discipline, baby.
Discipline.
Discipline.
The action.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Habits,
Even when
positive
you
habits.
don't want to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get to do it.
Right.
My brother, one of my older brothers who died at the age of 60 from heart complications, he doesn't get to do it.
Right. Yep. Yep. And that woman that you were talking about with
Peggy Chung,
diabetes was,
she didn't
yeah,
get to do it
she didn't
anymore.
get to do it. Yeah.
But Peggy's still alive because we just talked about her.
Oh, really?
No, I'm saying she's still no, I'm
Oh, she's
saying
still alive because we're using her story.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
we're talking about what she taught.
Right, right.
I mean, she died a long time ago.
A long time ago.
She
Yeah,
died like 18 years ago,
yeah,
something like that. But
right. But you're still using her story, which is a good
yeah,
thing. Yeah,
because it still has value.
sure.
Peggy lives on
Yes.
as
Yeah,
she should.
right. I love that. Well,
Okay.
thanks so much for being with me. I really appreciate you coming to the podcast and I hope people reach out and look at your website and get some more of your good information.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So everyone, this is Stanley. So look him up on what was the Way of Excellence.com.
Yes.
I love it. All right, have a beautiful week, everyone. Bye. Bye, Stanley.